Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind. I hope all of you are doing well. Good evening, Parmeshwar. Good evening, everyone. So, I hope all of you are doing well. Now, in the last session, in the last 1 week, we have been discussing some topics from the budget also. We have been discussing some topics which are having significant relevance in the prelims exam also. Okay. So, on that line itself, the topics which we are going to discuss in today's session, number one topic will be our black holes. Recently, in the past also, we have discussed this topic, black holes. So there again, we are going to discuss about this topic of black holes, that what are they, how they are formed. And recently, there is a Gaia telescope by European Space Agency. So that has discovered 3 different black holes which are nearby Earth. Nearby means some light years away from Earth. So we are going to talk about those black holes also, and we will see how they are generated and everything. Okay. Then we will talk about this World Health Organization. When on 20th of January, Donald Trump became the president of India, he has taken the, president of United States, not India, United States. Then he has, on his oath ceremony itself, he has signed this withdrawal from many other things. Like there is withdrawal from World Health Organization, there has been withdrawal from US Paris Treaty also, there has been withdrawal from one of the global tax plan of OECD, Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. So we are going to talk about 2 such important topics here. One is World Health Organization, second is OECD and its tax pact, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development and the tax pact with respect to that. So we are going to talk about that also. Then we are going to talk about this MSME sector. We are going to talk about this MSME sector, that what else has been done in this regard of MSME. So we are going to talk about that also. And then finally, we will see some questions from the month of April 2024 with respect to environment. So these are the topics which we are going to see in today's session. Okay, but let us first start with one more information for all of you. This crash course is going on and the admission is open. It is there in bilingual mode. It is a 100 days plan in which all the subjects with respect to GS are going to be covered, plus CSAT also will be covered as part of this. So admission is still going on in this UPSC crash course. Okay. Now let us see that some questions with respect to the topics which we have seen in the previous classes. Okay. The first topic was, the first question is, which of the following is correct with respect to cancer? Okay. Lungs cancer is the leading cause of cancer among male. Cervical cancer is the leading cause of cancer among women in India. So that is a very simple question. I think you know the answer for this. That is the first question with respect to cancer. Good evening, Disha. Good evening, Ritu. Good evening, Pratibha, Rajkumar, Anjali. Good evening, everyone. I'm quite good. I hope all of you are also doing quite well. You can have name in English also, Disha. No problem. You can write in English or Hindi. It doesn't matter. You can just go by the English name. There also you will be signing mostly in English only, so you can go by English name. C option, A option. See, if we look at this, lungs cancer is the leading cause of cancer among male. We have seen that that is the correct one. Lungs cancer is the one which is the leading cause of cancer among male in India. Okay. When we talk about this cervical cancer, it is the second leading cause. The number 1 cause is breast cancer. The number 1 cause of cancer in India, or number 1 cases are there in the breast cancer category. The second most leading cause is cervical cancer. Okay. So here the second statement is incorrect. The first one is correct. Hence the answer will be A, that is 1 only. So that will be our answer, A, that is 1 only. How many of the following is correct with respect to State Public Service Commission? It is a 5-membered constitutional body at a state level. Its members are appointed by the governor of state. A member of SPSC can be removed from his post only after inquiry by Supreme Court. See, cancer is not having one single cause. Cancer is having multiple causes. Cancer, if you look at cancer, cancer is due to uncontrolled cell division. Uncontrolled cell division. So that is why cancer can happen at in any part of the body. But generally it is seen that among women, since the mammary glands or the glands with respect to the breasts are more active in the women, okay, and there is change from time to time also. So this is one side where cancer cells can occur commonly. Okay. Question number 2. What will be the answer? A option, B option, C option. I think maximum answer are going as option A. Most of the answers are answer A. Okay. So look at this. It is a 5-membered constitutional body. That is incorrect. There is no specification of the number. The number is decided from time to time as per the requirement in the state. So it is not a 5-membered or 7-membered or 9-membered. It is decided as per the state, as per the requirement. So first option is incorrect. Its members are appointed by governor of state. So that one is correct. Third is saying a member of SPSC can be removed from his post only after inquiry by Supreme Court. That third option here is incorrect. You know that president can remove, the president of India can remove the chairperson or members of the State Public Service Commission on multiple other grounds also. Like if he has been adjudged as an insolvent due to infirmity of body or mind. Okay. So in these conditions, he can be removed from his post, or he is going for moonlighting, also doing some work outside his office. So then in that situation, he can be removed from his post directly by the president without any Supreme Court inquiry also. Okay. So this third option is incorrect. Answer here will be A, that is only 1. How many of the following are correct regarding forest in India? That is the third question. The northeastern states have witnessed the highest increase in forest cover. Madhya Pradesh has the largest area under forest area. The definition of forest in India include forest on private land. So how many of them are correct? This is question number 3. We have discussed the forest related definition and forest related facts in the last session. So question number 3. B option, A option, okay. Okay, so I think that, yes, I think that all of you are revising. Most of you are revising the topics, so that is good. If you look at this, Northeastern does not have seen the highest increase. We have seen. Which state has seen the highest increase? Anyone? Which state has seen the highest increase in the forest cover? Which state has seen the highest increase in forest cover? Last day we have discussed this topic. Last day we have discussed this topic. Yes, Chhattisgarh is the one which has seen the highest increase in that. Okay, so this first option is incorrect. Madhya Pradesh has the largest area. That is correct. Definition of forest in India include forest on private land. So that is also correct. Okay, so yes, we have seen that 2 and 3. That is correct. So answer will be option B. Now MP has seen decline. If you look at MP, Chhattisgarh, UP, they have seen increase. But MP has seen decline. MP, Arunachal Pradesh, they have seen decline in the forest cover. Okay, so there is a difference. Although MP has still the largest area under forest in India, but it has seen decline from the last IFSR report of 2021. Okay. Now, 2 and 3 will be the correct answer here. So, let's start with today's topic. Okay, and the first thing which we have to discuss is black hole. Okay. Now, we have discussed about this topic of black hole in the month of, I think, October, November also. We have seen what is black hole, how they are created, or in what conditions we can have creation of black hole. Just to brush up a little bit, see, black holes are created by the end of, or you can say that at the end of the life of a huge star, a star which is at least 1.4 times bigger than the sun or heavier than the sun. This 1.4 is basically called as Chandrasekhar limit. Okay. So normally if we look at this, suppose that there is a star and this star is like suppose 2 times heavier than sun. 2 times heavier than sun. So normally in the beginning it is having hydrogen. In the beginning it is having hydrogen. Once hydrogen is depleted, it will convert into a much more bigger star having helium. It will be converted into a much more bigger star with majority of the substance here in form of helium. So that is the second part, that we will have huge amount of helium in this star in the second stage. Okay. It is called as a red giant star in that condition. After this second stage, there will be a third stage also, which will be called as, so after this helium ends, there will be further heavier elements, and there will be a supernova explosion. So once this helium is over, now the size of the star will grow enormously bigger, and this will result in a huge explosion which is called as supernova explosion. After the supernova explosion, what we will see that it can either get converted into a neutron star or it can get converted into a black hole. So from here there are two possibilities. One is formation of a neutron star and another is formation of a black hole. Okay. So there is a requirement, and the requirement is this should be minimum 1.4 times heavier than sun. Okay. This should be minimum 1.4 times heavier than the sun, bigger than the sun. And in this condition, this 1.4 limit is also called as Chandrasekhar limit. It is also called as Chandrasekhar limit. Okay. So after this only, a star can get converted into a black hole or a neutron star. It means our sun, our own very star, the sun, is not going to be converted into any neutron star or a black hole. So it is not going to be converted. It will become a dwarf star in the future. 5 billion years later, it will be converted into a dwarf star. But we don't have to worry. We have still a lot of time. Okay. Now, if we look at the black hole, there are three important locations which you should be aware about. One thing is called as event horizon, one thing is called as singularity, and this portion is called as ergosphere. This portion is called as ergosphere. So the point, if we talk about the singularity, it is the center of black hole. This is basically center of black hole. And this event horizon is the point from which there is no return. Once anything enters this, they will not be able to return back. Once something enters this event horizon, they will not be able to come back. You may have heard this, that if something enters into a black hole, then it will not be able to come out. So that is the main thing here. If something is entering or going beyond this boundary, there is a boundary which is called as event horizon. So if someone is crossing that boundary, they will not be able to return back. They will not be able to get out of it. So that boundary, a point of no return, So once anything has crossed this event horizon, they will not be able to come back out of the black hole. Okay. And this remaining portion which you see, it is called as ergosphere. Okay. So this is the part of space-time fabric. This is the part of space-time fabric which bends or which warps due to the impact of black hole. Okay. So what we see that bending of space-time fabric due to black hole. So it is like a depression. It is like a depression in our space-time fabric. Suppose this is the plane of the space. So there is a depression in that, and that depression, that portion is what we call as ergosphere. This time ergosphere was there in the news. In the past also we have seen questions on it. We have discussed this topic. Okay. Now, why we are discussing it today? Okay. Like we have seen this part. Now the second thing is, how do we detect these black holes? In what manner we detect these black holes? Okay. So see, right now the two things which are very much common, through which we detect the black holes. Okay. Suppose that this is our Gaia telescope. This Gaia telescope is from European Space Agency. This is from European Space Agency. Okay. Now, how do we detect it? Suppose that there is a black hole. There is a black hole. If there is any star or neutron star, generally what will happen that as it comes closer to this black hole, it will start orbiting it. Okay. Sorry, I'm going in the wrong manner, but it will start orbiting this black hole. Suppose that if we look at this, suppose this is our black hole and this is our star. So what you will find that this star is orbiting something. This star is orbiting something, but it is not visible to us. The star is orbiting something, but it is not visible to us. So according to this orbit of the star, according to this orbital motion of the star, we are able to detect whether there is a black hole or not. Okay. So we observe the star. We observe the star that what it is orbiting. What is the main point which this star is orbiting? Is it going around the center of the galaxy, or is it going through some object or some point? So if there is something for which it is orbiting, if there is some point which is being orbited by this star, we consider that to be a black hole. Okay. So if a star is orbiting around a point, then we get to know that, okay, there is an existence of black hole in this region. Okay. There is another part, that is X-rays. Okay. So it is seen that although the light and many other things are not able to come out of the black hole, but due to the enormous amount of energy around this black hole, due to enormous amount of energy, there is accretion disk, there are so many parts of black hole, the boundary of black hole, from which huge amount of emissions of X-rays are coming outside. Okay. So suppose that there is a point which is not visible to us, but from the surrounding of that area, there is emission of huge amount of X-rays. So on the basis of that also, we are able to detect it. So first thing is orbiting of stars. Orbiting of stars around a point. So that is one of the way. Second thing is X-ray emissions. We also study the X-rays which are emitted near this black hole, and on the basis of that we detect the black holes. Okay. Can you tell me which one is the nearest black hole for our solar system? Which is the nearest black hole for our solar system? What is the name of the nearest black hole for our solar system? See, this Gaia telescope, it has observed three different black holes in our vicinity. It has observed three different black holes in our vicinity, and they have been named like this: Gaia BH1. Okay, so Gaia is basically the telescope of European Space Agency, and BH1 is black hole 1, black hole 2, black hole 3. Okay, so we are having three different black holes in our vicinity. The nearest one is BH1, which is 1560 light years ago. Sorry, 1560 light years away from us. Okay, so it is 1560 light years away from us. That is the nearest one, and this black hole is 9.6 times heavier than our sun. This black hole is 9.6 times heavier than our sun. Then there is Gaia BH2. It is 3800 light years away, and it is 8.9 times heavier than sun. And the recent one, Gaia BH3, which was recently detected a few years back. Okay, so this one is 2000 light years away, but so far it has been considered as one of the very heaviest black holes in our surrounding. It is 33 times heavier than sun. It is 33 times heavier than sun. These satellites are there. Okay. And how many black holes are there in our Milky Way galaxy? The numbers can be as high as millions. In our Milky Way galaxy, we are having millions of black holes. Okay. We are not talking about the universe. We are just talking about our own Milky Way galaxy. It consists of not a thousand, more than a million of black holes. Okay. So that is the number of black holes which are there in our surrounding. This telescope, Gaia telescope, it is there launched by European Space Agency. It was launched in 2013. Okay, and this one is observing the black holes around this part. Okay, we are not even talking about multiverse and gigaverse and Avenger series and everyone. Okay, so we are not even going in that. Even if we talk about just our solar system, just our Milky Way galaxy, that is having millions of black holes. If we look at the number of galaxies, they are also in millions. And we are not even talking about how many universes can be there. Okay, so just in our Milky Way galaxy, the near about Milky Way galaxy, we are having just this 1 million black holes. Okay. So in that aspect, just think about it. What is the position of Earth? Just give it a thought that what is the position of the Earth in this Milky Way galaxy? That where do we stand in terms of our weight? Just to give you an idea, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, all other asteroids or other comets, all these things combined together make just less than 1% of the mass of the sun. So if we combine the entire planets, their mass will be equal to less than 1% of the mass of the sun. And then we have black holes which are in millions of numbers in just our galaxy. In just our galaxy, there are millions of black holes. Okay. And if we go beyond our galaxy, there are millions of galaxies in this universe. Okay. So in our universe, there is no such value of Earth. Okay. Now, coming to the next topic, World Health Organization. So United States has pulled out of this World Health Organization. They have said that they will not give the funding anymore. Of course, for 1 year they have to give the funding, but after that they are going to stop it. They are not going to fund the World Health Organization anymore. Okay. So we will in brief first see about this World Health Organization, and then we will come to this funding part. Okay, what we are going to discuss, first thing, a brief about this WHO, then we will see the funding part. Okay, then we will see that like the United States, it has withdrawn from WHO. So what will be the impact of it? Plus at the same time, why do we need WHO and what should be the way forward? So we are going to discuss this World Health Organization in a detailed manner. Okay. So first let us talk about this body. Okay. It is a special agency of United Nations. It is a special agency of United Nations which was founded in 1948. And it started working on 7th of April 1948, which is also celebrated as World Health Day. Okay, so World Health Day is celebrated on 7th of April. So they have started working for the first time on 7th of April 1948, and that is the day when we celebrate this World Health Day also. Okay. At the same time, headquarters is in Geneva, Switzerland. Members 194 states, still including United States. After 1 year, US will leave. But for this year, they're still there in the part of WHO. Okay. Now, there is a World Health Assembly. Basically, this is the main decision-making body of World Health Organization. World Health Assembly meets annually. All the members of World Health Organization are also participating here, and they take the majority decisions that in upcoming years what WHO is going to do, what will be its plan, its policies, etc., etc. So that is a basic about what is this WHO, a special agency of United Nations having 194 members. Now coming to the second part, that funding. There is two type of funding. One is called as assessed contribution, one is called as voluntary contribution. Okay. There are two ways in which World Health Organization gets the fund. One is called as assessed contribution. So this is basically a membership fee. This is basically a membership fee. Okay. This is basically a membership fee. So this is a compulsory part. All those who are members of WHO, they have to give some fee or a membership fee to this WHO. That is the major part of funding. Okay. Second thing is voluntary contribution. Anyone can donate. It can be countries, it can be philanthropists, it can be any of the companies, any organizations. They can give the funding under voluntary contribution. Like even United States can give, India can give, any other country can also donate under this voluntary contribution. Okay. So it is highly fluctuating. Highly fluctuating. And what we also see that this is only for project specific funding. This is for project specific funding. So if United States is giving some fund under this voluntary contribution, they ask the WHO to use this money for a specific project. Whereas this assessed contribution is the main budget of WHO. The salary of staff, administrative expenses, they are all coming from this budget. Okay. And why United States matter a lot here, you can understand from this point that US has contributed 1.28 billion to WHO, out of which 218 million is assessed contribution. So if we look at this, 218 million, that is the assessed contribution of United States. Okay. And near about 1.02 billion, that is voluntary contribution. So US is giving more in voluntary contribution than its membership fee. But US is not happy about the membership fee. Recently, we have also got this information. US is also shutting down US aid program. The United States was giving the grants, or it was giving donations to many countries, many organizations for socio-economic development. So now that program has also been shut down. Okay. And they have also withdrawn from this. Why US matters for WHO? You can understand this 218 million is 22% of total budget of WHO. So if we look at this, WHO is getting almost 1/4 of its entire budget from United States. And US has now withdrawn from this. US has said that we are terminating our membership. So they will not be giving this $218 million from the next year. Okay. In 2025, of course, they will have to continue. But in the next year, they will not be paying this fee. Okay. So this is one part. Now, in this condition, if we look at what is the contribution of India, India has given this much money, around 32 million. Around 32 million, that is the contribution of India. That is roughly around 32 million. Okay. So that is the contribution from India, and India pays it on time. Okay. India pays this on time. India is giving the 32 million. According to the economy size, it is assessed. According to the size of the economy, this assessment is done, and India is paying its membership fee also. Okay. Now, suppose that if WHO is not getting the funding, so what is the region? Like, what are the challenge here? If we talk about WHO, US has withdrawn from it because it doesn't want to pay the fee. It doesn't want to pay the fee. It says that we are paying excessive money to WHO and it is not helping us. WHO is not even working properly. Okay. So what are the challenges with respect to this institution? Okay. First thing is gaps in social justice. Okay. WHO was supposed to help the poor and marginalized people. Now, you will find that there are a number of advertisements which are going on which says that WHO helps the poor and marginalized section. So just to add a context here, just to give you an example here, we have one case study, Mpox. Mpox was there for quite some time. Mpox was there for quite some time. It was impacting large number of people in Africa, especially DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. But for many years, it was not in the limelight. Now, all of a sudden, Mpox cases have been seen in Europe, and within just a few months, we have seen that approval of vaccines and availability of vaccines have been ensured by World Health Organization. So, World Health Organization was there for social justice, for like promoting the social justice, promoting the welfare of the marginalized section. Just to give an example, it is not doing so. Okay. Even if we sideline the US budget, it should have focused on development of the health conditions in poor countries. If they forget about India, that's fine. India is the third largest economy. Forget about China, forget about major countries of Asia. But in Africa, World Health Organization was supposed to play a role. Mpox was there for significant amount of time, but there was no consideration. Now we have seen Mpox cases in Europe, and within just few months, there was approval of the vaccines. So there are many such problems existing in Africa, Asia, but this World Health Organization, like whenever it is doing something, it gets in limelight. But there are so many things done by it for Europe and advanced economies, which doesn't even come into news articles. Okay. So while DRC is still thinking about getting the vaccine for Mpox, in US it is easily available, made by World Health Organization. Okay. So gaps in social justice, gaps in responsibility, gaps in implementation, gaps in knowledge. So these all factors, and plus administrative or bureaucracy, administrative challenge. So this WHO is also having the same red tapeism as we see in any of the developing nations. Okay. So WHO is also going through that red tapeism process. There are so many administrative hurdles in implementation of any of the projects. Okay. So that is one of the challenge with respect to this World Health Organization. But despite this, despite these challenges, World Health Organization is still required. It is still significant in the present times. Why? Why do we still need this World Health Organization? See, if we talk about the present times, we are having antimicrobial resistance on the rise. We have talked about this topic. Antimicrobial resistance has been rising, and particularly in the developing nations. There is also climate change and related disease, global warming and animal health, increasing re-emergence of diseases, and a steep rise in lifestyle diseases. We have seen whether it is cancer, whether it is cardiovascular diseases, they are also on the rise. Climate change and its impact on health is well known. We also see that global warming is impacting animal health also. There is rise of zombie viruses also. Plus, at the same time, we see that there is rise of antimicrobial resistance also. And a significant portion of the world lives still in poverty. Okay. So, count this with sustainable development goals. So, for all these regions, we still require World Health Organization. Why this is still required? Why this is still significant? We require it. Okay. So what will be the way forward? Now US is withdrawing 25% of the budget of World Health Organization is going to be curtailed from the next year. So what should be the way forward? Okay. This was an editorial in The Hindu, and it suggests that this is the right time to move away from US based institutions. Many of the global institutions are dependent on United States or a few countries. This is the right time when there should be more multilateralism than ever. Okay. So there is a need of more and more multilateralism in the present times. Okay. So there is some things which have been suggested. First, supplement WHO funding gap. It has said that there are many countries which has emerged as global economies, global powers in the present time. India is there, China is there, Germany is there, Egypt is there, Turkey is there. There are so many countries which have a very good economic presence. So they need to supplement this WHO funding gap. The second important thing is India and other southern countries need to focus on global health. What is the meaning here? The meaning is just like this. In India, the doctors are mainly trained for diseases which are prevalent in India. But now we need to become global. We need to focus on those diseases, those public health crises which are present globally. Okay. So we need to invest in global health care. We need to invest in global health care. Okay. So it is no longer limited to just providing the funds. We need to upgrade ourselves to become the supplier. It's not like the service supplier, the service provider. It's no longer required that we should give services only in the advanced European countries or US. We can also have the health professionals working in the African region, working in the Asian region, working in the Caribbean, working in South America and other places. Okay. So India and other nations need to focus on global health now. Okay. Third thing is, countries in the global south should set up a few premier institutions at the country or regional levels. Okay. Like say, we have some premier institutions of health like AIIMS and all at national level. But now it is the right time to invest in developing a premier institutions at regional or at through global collaboration. We can have some premier institutions set up in It can be in New Delhi, it can be there in Shanghai, it can be there in Africa, it can be there in Central Asia, any place. We need to have premier global institutions for health research. We can no longer just be dependent on US and its allies for health services. Okay. And then shifting of offices from west to east and south. Why we will have the headquarters of WHO in Geneva in Switzerland in so much expensive setup? Why cannot we set up the same offices in Nairobi in Africa or New Delhi or any other place? Okay. So we can have shifting of offices. This will reduce the cost. This will reduce the cost. So if US is not giving the funding to World Health Organization, why World Health Organization needs to have offices in Washington or New York or other places? They can shift it to some other countries. They can shift it to developing countries where the cost will significantly reduce. And in that, they will be saving the money also. Okay. So these are the recommendations for World Health Organization, that what they should be doing in order to safeguard their money, in order to safeguard their credibility. This is required for credibility of World Health Organization. Okay. I hope it is clear. Okay. Now we will come to the next topic. There is another thing, a smaller topic, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Okay. So this is also an institution from which it has not decided to withdraw from the institution, but US has decided to withdraw from the twin pillars or the tax pillar of OECD. Okay. So just US ideology. If we should be going for premier institution, as the party have to be changed. Yes, party has to be changed after 5 years. See, the thing is, US is so much like in crisis right now. It doesn't know what to do. US is actually facing this existential crisis as Britain used to face 100 years ago. If we just go about 100 years ago, after the First World War, Britain was also facing this existential crisis. It wanted to prove to the world that I still matter. I am the most mighty empire. The sun never sets in British Empire, etc., etc. So US is also trying to prove its relevance to the world by withdrawing from these organizations. But you know this one thing, the world is not the same as it used to be in 1940 or 1990. The world has significantly changed. There are so many global powers that just reliance on US is not always mandatory. There are so many other countries which can fund this. $218 million. If India wants to give this, India can entirely give $218 million. India has provided $1 billion in grant to Bangladesh monthly also. This is just $218 million. If India wants to fund this, India can fund it entirely. India donates that much money to Bangladesh per month. Okay. So if we want to fund WHO, that is not a big task. 218 million doesn't even counts for us. Okay. We are a $1 trillion economy. We are like $1 trillion economy. Our economy is going to reach up to $5 trillion. So $218 million doesn't matter for any of the country of the world. We provide more grants to African countries and Asian countries per month than the entire budget of WHO. Okay. So if India, China, and even simply the BRICS nation, if they want it, they can fund it at any point of time. Okay. Why we donate huge money to Bangladesh? We will discuss that some other time. Okay. Now, so this is OECD, an international organization of 38 countries, which was founded initially by some countries of Europe and US and Canada. Okay. So this Organization for Economic Cooperation, basically, if we look at this, It is committed to democracy and market economy. This OECD is it is committed to democracy and market economy. And one of the key partner of this, if we look at the key partner of this OECD, that is China. Although India is also there, Indonesia is also there, Brazil is also there. Okay, but this is one thing which is committed to democracy and market-based economy. That is the role of this OECD. Basically, it is working for market-based economy, rationalization, or you can say that this LPG reform, it is trying to advocate that. It is trying to have a common tax reform also. And recently, why this was there in the news? There is one thing. There is two pillars of OECD. It is also called as twin pillar. You may have got one question in UPSC prelims once, base erosion and profit sharing. There is a term in economy, base erosion and profit sharing. So it is like there are certain multinational companies which work in a country and then they shift their entire profit to some other tax haven countries where they have to pay less taxes. They can have operations in India, they can be doing all their business in India, and they can shift their entire like profit to any such like a shell company or any such other subsidiary company of the same company in Malaysia, Singapore, Mauritius, or other places where there is less taxes. Okay, so that is one of the practice which is like discouraged by this OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Okay, so it has proposed two pillars. Okay, pillar 1 talks about relocate some profit from where companies earn income to where they sell product and services. Okay, so it is mainly for like the bigger companies, the multinational digital companies, like suppose Facebook. Suppose if we are talking about the Facebook, so they are selling their services in India, Facebook advertisements and everything. They are selling their services in India, but they are paying tax in United States. They are paying most of their taxes in United States. So there are many such multinational companies which are providing services in some developing countries or other part of the world, but they are paying taxes to their home country or some other country where tax rate is lower. Okay, so pillar 1 talks about like pay some tax in the country where you are selling your product or services. So that is one part. Second part is pillar 2, a minimum tax rate, a global minimum tax. It proposes a global minimum corporate tax of 15%. It says that the countries of the world, they should sign this treaty. That there will be minimum 15% corporate tax, so that they will not be shifting their business to elsewhere. That if they are doing job in India, if they are doing business in India and they relocate their profit to Singapore or Mauritius because they are asking for less taxes, so that we have to discourage it. So it proposes a global minimum tax. It proposes a global minimum tax, and that of 15% that was proposed. It was proposed that we will have a minimum 15% global minimum tax for corporates. But then this year again, United States, which was one of the advocates, it was proposed under the presidency of Biden. The former US President Joe Biden has proposed this. He was one of the active proposers of this global minimum tax. India was having this equalization levy. So India has dropped this equalization levy of 2% on many of the things just because we were trying to adhere to this twin pillars of OECD. Okay. Now 1 year later, what we are seeing that US has withdrawn from it. They say that we don't want to continue with it. Okay. We don't want to continue with it. So that is one thing again from which US has withdrawn, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Okay. This is a institution in which US is a founding member. US is a founding member, and now they have withdrawn from the treaty which was proposed by US for the entire world. And now they are just withdrawing from it. So you can see how much US is fluctuating. Okay. So that is third topic, a smaller one. And finally, our last topic, MSME sector. Okay. We have to see this MSME sector. This very important, like a graphic was shared on PIB also. One micro, small, medium, and champions. Okay. So this shows the intent of the government that we want to promote the micro, small, and medium enterprises so that they can become the champions in the India. Tell me one simple part. What is the contribution of MSME sector in India's export? What is the contribution of this MSME sector in the exports of India? Any idea? How much the MSME sector contributes in the export of India? How much percentage? Any idea about this? How much percent we contribute towards export? 40 to 50%? Yes. 20-25? No, that is on the lower side. Okay. It is around 45%. It is around 45%. That is the contribution of MSME sector in India. Okay. So now there has been a revision. There has been a revision in the limit of investment and turnover, that which companies will be regarded as micro industries, which one will be regarded as small industries, which one as the medium enterprises. So what we see that initially those companies which were having an investment of 1 crore and turnover of 5 crore, they were regarded as micro enterprises. So now it has been increased up to 2.5 and 10. Okay. So now their limit is, if a company is having an investment up to 2.5 crore, so that will still be counted as a micro enterprises. In same manner, small enterprise 10 was revised to 25 and 50 has been revised to 125. Okay. So there is a 2.5 times increase. There is a 2.5 times increase in the investment limit. So this definition of MSME has been changed. The definition of MSME has been changed. Earlier it was on the basis of investment and turnover. Now that value has been changed by 2.5 times and 2 times. Earlier turnover was 5 crore. It has been changed to 10. 50 has been changed to 100 and 250 has been changed to 500 crore turnover. So if they are having a turnover of even up to 500 crore, they will be regarded as medium enterprises. So it means now we will be able to cover many more such enterprises under this MSME sector. Okay. So those who are having investment up to 2.5 crore, they will still be regarded as micro enterprises. Those who are above this 2.5 up to 25, they will be small, and from 25 and above to around 125, they will be called as medium enterprises. So that is a change in definition, and when there is a change in definition, you can expect a question in the exam. Okay. So there is a change in definition from the budget this year. Okay. Then if we look at this, like in the GDP, their contribution is near about 30%. In GDP, you will find that their contribution is near about 30% and it has been growing. In the last 3 years, it has been consistently growing. Okay. Then if you look at this like if you look at the growth of MSME export, so you will find that from 2020 to 24 there has been 3 times increase. Now it consists of near about 45%. Near about 45%, that is their share. That is their share in this export part. Near about 45%. Okay. Then what you will look at, we have got 5.93 MSME in India. We have got 5.93 crore which has been registered. Okay. Out of this, 5.84 crore are micro, 7.37 lakhs are small, and 69,300 are counted under medium enterprises. Okay. So now we will see that many more will come under this micro, and gradually they will aspire to become small and medium enterprises. Okay. So that is the total number of MSME in India. Okay. So this is one part. Now there is one more thing. They provide employment. They provide employment to near about 25 crore people. Okay. So that is one part, how much employment they are providing, almost near 25 crore. Recently we have seen some launching of, like they have been given this credit card also. Okay, that they will be given this credit card also, so that they can take it for some operational needs. Okay, so they credit card also has been given for MSME sectors, that they can use it for availing some credit from time to time. Okay, then even their guarantee which was given, that has also been increased. Okay, so that guarantee cover has also been increased. Okay, near about 2 times. So that is about MSME sector in this budget. Okay, now these were the 4 topics which we have to cover. Now we will see some questions. So this is the first question for you. Which of the following is correct with respect to Bougainvillea? Bougainvillea. This is one such question from the month of April 2024. Which of the following is correct with respect to Bougainvillea? First one is saying, it is a critically endangered bird species in Arunachal Pradesh. It is a new species of lizard discovered in Andaman and Nicobar. It is a new butterfly species found in Uttarakhand. It is a mushroom plant with several medicinal properties. So question number 1. This is question number 1. What will be the answer? One answer as option A, one answer as option D. See, this was there in the news. This one was there in the news. I think many of you may not have heard about the name of this one. Okay. So let me tell you the answer of this. It is A. Okay. So it is basically a critically endangered bird species in Arunachal Pradesh. Basically, there is a tribe, and the tribe name is Bougain. So they have donated, these tribes, they have donated land. Okay, they have donated land for conservation of this bird. For conservation of this bird. Okay. So last year it became famous because some tribal, okay, because some tribal people have given this donation for saving of this bird. The bird's name is Bougainvillea. It is like a common bird which is found in Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, and this is endangered, critically endangered. Its population is less than 250. Its population can be anywhere between 50 to 250, and it is found just in this Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, so it is endemic to that area, and this Bougain tribe, they have donated land for conservation of this bird. That's why it was there in the news. The name of the bird is also on the tribal, Bougainvillea. Okay, so that's why it was there in the news. Now, second question. Climate Promise 2025 initiative has been started by Worldwide Fund for Nature, International Union for Conservation of Nature, United Nations Development Programme, or European Commission. In environment, they ask questions like this. If there is a new initiative or something, they will ask you question regarding this. So this is the second one, Climate Promise 2025 initiative. One answer from Ritu as option C. Anyone else? Okay. So I think this is common. I think everyone knows about this second one. Yes. A Climate Promise 2025, it has been provided by United Nations Development Programme. Okay. So this one is going to help. Okay. It is going to help developing. It is going to help developing and underdeveloped nations to fulfill their goals with respect to Paris Treaty. Okay. So it is like going to help them. Yes, it is going to help them to fulfill their promises or goals with respect to the Paris Treaty. So Climate Promise 2025 is one such initiative by United Nations Development Programme. Option C will be correct. Which of the following statement is correct with respect to Convention on Migratory Species of Wild Animals? Okay. Which of the following is correct with respect to Convention on Migratory Species of Wild Animals, also called as Bonn Convention? It is also called as Bonn Convention, a very common topic from environment. Okay. So first one says it was adopted in Earth Summit in 1992. It has universal membership. It provides a global platform for the conservation and sustainable use of migratory animals. India is a founding member of this treaty. Question number 3. I think the third statement is quite easy and predictable. Yes. I should have asked which one is incorrect. Okay. So, yes, of course, third option is quite predictable. So, this is correct. But see, it was not adopted in Earth Summit in 1992. It was there in 1979 itself. Okay. India is not a founding member. India joined in 1983. India has joined this in 1983. It has not universal membership. It has got 128 members. Okay. So it has got 128 members. So that B option, it has not universal membership. It has 128 members. It was finalized in 1979. India became a member in 1983. Okay. So these were the important information about this Bonn Convention. Last year, we have this COP14 of this CMS. Okay. So we were having this COP14 of CMS, Convention on Migratory Species. Okay. So read about this topic, more information about this. You can obtain more information about this topic. Okay. So that will be all. Okay. Tomorrow, we will discuss the questions with respect to environment of May 2024. And this is the one question for you. This is the one question with respect to Convention on Migratory Species also. How many of flyways pass through India? Name them also. So mention your answer in the comment box. How many flyways pass through India? You have to also name them as well. Okay. Our Ramsar sites also have a connection with this flyways. Okay. So mention about them in the comment box. Thank you very much. We will meet again tomorrow at same time 5 p.m. and again on Friday with respect to this revision series. For Eco Survey and 2025 budget, Mohit, I think Bharat sir will be conducting a session for this. especially for eco survey and 25 budget. So that will be done by Bharat sir. But at the same time, we will be discussing some of the important like schemes, missions with respect to that. Okay. See, Anjali, this is not just for your part. For everyone, they feel that everyone is studying better than me. What will happen to me? So don't worry about everyone else. Just think about yourself. Okay. Just think about yourself. Like suppose if you have done something last day, if you have done something yesterday, if you have done something yesterday, have you improved upon it in today or not? Okay. Are you going to do it better than what you have done yesterday or not? So improve yourself day by day. Work on yourself. Your competitor is not anyone else. You are your own competitor. Yes, Sachin. Tomorrow we will have Adhyan batch in the morning at 8 to 10. Okay. Okay, Mohit, I will inform it to the team. Favorite subject में कौन सा subject select करना है? You can choose current affairs, environment or science tech. Okay. Achha, because every art subject is similar to me. So you can choose any like other subject also. You can choose science and technology or environment. My favorite subject is modern history. Like I'm fascinated by modern history. Okay. Okay. So thank you everyone. Let's meet tomorrow at 5 p.m. and then we will discuss the topics for tomorrow's session. Okay. So why my favorite subject is modern history? See, I am very much fond of what has happened in the history, how the Indian national movement was going on. It has a lot of like inspiration. There is a lot of inspiration with respect to this Indian national movement. Like it gives you that motivation from time to time, how you can work when everything is at odds, how you can improve yourself, how you can be better. You can also get that from the history of India. Okay. Okay, so thank you so much everyone. Let's meet tomorrow and then we will discuss the remaining things. Thank you.